Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Let's Talk Film, a series where contemporary women get a chance to have their voices heard on the latest film releases. Today's film we'll be reviewing is the award-winning independent film Middle of Nowhere, written and directed by Ava DuVernay. I'm sitting here in Traffic Bar, located on 9th Avenue between 48th and 49th Streets in Hell's Kitchen, an area also known as Clinton or Manhattan West, a historic residential district for those in the arts. Famous faces like Jerry Seinfeld, Alicia Keys, and even James Dean all resided here at points in their lives. And with the theater district as its adjoining neighbor, you'll find a steady flow of activity to the many diverse great restaurants and bars that have cultivated here. And Traffic Bar, with its amazing happy hour drink specials, specialty sports nights, and weekly brunches, is sure to keep the party going at any time of the day. So let's sit down, get comfortable, and get jammed. I'm here with Daniel, who is the administrator here at Traffic Bar. So tell me a little bit about what you do, Daniel.
Well, as an administrator, basically what I do is I coordinate all the office work and kind of liaison for all our locations. We have two currently. We're working on locking down a third one, and we also have one in Montauk right now in Long Island. Yeah.
Is it called Traffic Bar as well? Do they have as much
Actually,
traffic in
no,
Montauk?
it's called Washout. That's our kind of
There
summer seasonal hangout spot. So definitely you should check that out next summer if you haven't already.
Here you have a special group, House of Mimosa, that does performance here on a weekly basis. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, it's one of my favorite shows actually. The House of Mimosa will come in every week, and they do a brunch show actually, and they have a very large following, so the place is always packed, and it's always a great form of entertainment for the whole neighborhood. Especially in the summer, we have the garage doors open, and really the whole neighborhood gets to interact with character actors. So basically, it's two guys, and they get dressed in females' clothing, but they put on a grand show, and it's just awesome to see live. You have to be here to enjoy it fully.
And do you have to RSVP for that, or you can just walk in?
Generally, it's a good idea to RSVP because we do have a lot of people who come in to see the show. There usually are room for walk-ins, but definitely it's a popular show, so you should call ahead and RSVP, and definitely come and see it if you have time.
Well, thank you so much, Daniel, for allowing us to interview you on behalf of Let's Talk Film and talk to us a little bit about Traffic Bar.
Of course, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. And now let's meet our panelists. Beryl Edgecombe. Beryl is the producer of the Manhattan Neighborhood Network program, Dem Bahamians, which profiles Bahamian American culture. She is also the president of the Bahamian American Cultural Society. Today's film we'll be reviewing is the award-winning independent film Middle of Nowhere, written and directed by Ava DuVernay. So DuVernay, who hails from Compton, Long Beach area, said she was inspired to write the story and film it in just 19 days because she knew women from her neighborhood who had been through similar ordeals. Do you think she transcended what is called black cinema?
I think so, yes. You know, now that I know that she wrote this movie, you know, based on her neighborhood, my first impression was, why didn't she move it up a notch? Because, you know, we have always seen movies with, you know, stereotyping black folks as lower socioeconomic group. And I was hoping that she would have kind of moved it up a notch. But seeing that she's now wrote this based on her neighborhood, I understand where, you know, the setting, you know, actually is coming from.
Well, at the same time, although it is a story that I think some of us may have seen before, or even a perspective that some of us may be familiar with, the idea that it's put on screen in such a human way, for me, makes it transcend black cinema, because it isn't glorifying the situation, but instead what it's doing is presenting to you a very human story. And actually it's interesting because I had periods of time where I kind of stopped thinking about it as a black film and just started really thinking about it as a film, as a story that people can relate to.
I didn't see it as a black film.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm watching it, I look at, you know, the content and the storylines more so than it being a black film.
In your opinion, does this film deal with themes of imprisonment, physical, mental, and emotional?
I think mentally, I can see there being a hindrance to her lifestyle, but I don't think she should allow it to imprison her on the outside. She worked, and she had aspirations as well to do something to improve her life on the outside. Although her husband was in prison, she still had an opportunity to live a normal life as well as to excel.
Yes.
While her husband was in prison.
I'm gonna say I definitely feel like themes of imprisonment were present here. You really get to see through this story how families in general are dealing when you have someone within that family structure that is imprisoned. There is a phrase that's been said where you're kind of serving the term with the person. And I thought that this film did a really good job at characterizing that.
She's locked into that system of she has to go and visit and
Yes.
That kind of stuff.
But make herself available for phone calls, you know, things like that.
Right, but I still think that she didn't have children.
It's true.
So there was an opportunity for her to still have a quote normal life. and excel in her career.
But you know, it's definitely visible that her character's choice was to be a wife and to try and be as loyal of a wife as possible. And I think that meant to her serving that time with her husband.
The mother wanted them to excel.
Yes.
But I didn't see it happening. Neither of them was hearing what she was saying.
That's a beautiful imprisonment. That's actually
Yeah.
a beautiful imprisonment
Right.
of the film. Did you feel this story was refreshing or redundant?
I hate to say redundant. It was refreshing in a way. You get to understand what it's like for a family to be, in that position.
The theme in the story is redundant because we've seen this, someone going, a family member going to jail and then how everyone else deals, or even the idea of imprisonment in some ways. But the approach for me was refreshing and offered me insight in a, dare I say, anthropological way that I hadn't really seen before. If you don't know a little bit more about Ava, she started in publicity and created campaigns for films. She didn't go to school for film. So what did you think about her approach to filmmaking?
Having just seen the first, her first film, I thought I assumed she was coming from a film background.
Well, this is actually her second
right,
film.
okay.
And she's done documentaries as well.
So I think that it shows a growth of a black woman. And so I like that kind of, as far as I can really answer the other.
Well, I must say, as someone, she definitely seems like someone who's seen a lot of film and paid keen attention to storytelling and the value of time. But I feel as if when you're capturing performances and you're really trying to get your audience to get sucked into a scene, you need to have a good sense of what it is you want to see from your actors and how to pull that out, and how much of that to reveal to your audience and how much of that to cut away. And I think that she's someone who's been on the back end side of film and has seen many film and was able to make really good choices in regard to that, what to reveal, what to conceal, what to allow her actors to bring to the character, what she really wanted to keep in. Those kinds of choices, I think she made them very well. So I definitely think, she knows film, she knows her stuff. Dare I say it, she didn't need film school. I just think she did a wonderful.
I think she probably has years of experience in the other areas of filmmaking, and she learned from, I guess, the professionals.
Yes, she did.
But she did an excellent job, I think. Yeah.
Ava DuVernay won Best Director prize at Sundance, making her the first African American woman to do so. What were your thoughts on the directing?
I think she was excellent. I think she needs to, continue to do more films and not, stop or listen to critics. I think she has an opportunity to,
I can sum up my feelings on her directing with this one statement. Ava, if you start a school for film, sign me up. The writing was phenomenal. The directing was great. I feel like she made great choices. It was just. Even with music, the choice of cinematographer, what she chose to reveal, what she chose to conceal. the way I was able to connect with the characters, how the actors were able to emote, being able to be in control of all of that and really tell me a story, like having a beginning, middle, and end and getting through it into the point.
Yeah.
During its opening weekend, the film far exceeded expectations. Ava DuVernay utilized the African American Film Festival releasing movement, a grassroots distribution company that she founded. What are your thoughts on her efforts?
I think it's great. It's fantastic for her to really stick with it and bring it to this level. You know, bring it to the audience, to the Black community. And I think that the Black community really supported her from what I can see. And I think that she should be encouraged.
Publicity for this film had more of a grassroots feel, more of a word of mouth kind of feel, but that really only works if your product is good. The word of mouth about your product is only going to be as good as your product, and she was able to really show and prove that not only did she have the ability to spread notification about her film around, but that she had this really great product that everyone wanted to buzz about. If you weren't on this panel, would you have gone to see this film?
I think I would have, because I'm kind of a little curious as to what it's like in that families go through.
Unfortunately, I don't think I would have gone to see this film had I not been on the panel. It's really a time crunch with me. It isn't interest, it's more time. But I'm so happy that I saw this film. I'm so incredibly happy that I saw this film.
I think the title is very, you know, would have wanted you to go and see what is this movie all about.
Now it's time for our 3-minute film review segment where we at Let's Talk Film talk about films that we've seen online in an effort to get you to pay more attention to online film. The film we're going to be talking about today is The Birthday Party, produced and directed by Beryl Edgecombe and written by Sherry McGuinn. It's a 7-minute film and it was shot in 2009. Beryl, what were your thoughts on the film?
I would have preferred a softer ending.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
It definitely did come abruptly.
Yeah.
I totally was expecting what happened to happen, but not to whom it happened to, and not as soon. I was definitely like breathing with the film, and like I said, I didn't expect it to happen when it did. But an interesting fact about this film is actually based on a true story, which makes it even more riveting.
Wow.
Which I feel people should check out. Also, toward the end, is it just me or did it feel like a little bit of a PSA?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see it as being a PSA, no.
Yeah, for me, I felt more like a PSA of like, you know, what's actually occurring in society today. And it even had a quote of a statistic. And I thought that was a very poignant touch as well. Did you have any other comments on the film?
No, I just like the idea that the kids were really having a great time.
Yeah.
And for kids to see that, you know, they need to really enjoy life more.
It's true, they need to enjoy life more, but unfortunately sometimes it gets cut off with a harsh reality. I think it also definitely promotes thoughts and inspires conversation on gun control and gun violence within different communities and how it can affect anyone at any time. And so this film does a really good job at that, and also capturing a true story. I thought it was well shot as well and well edited. The pacing overall was good in the film, just that last ending was a bit abrupt.
Abrupt, yeah, I agree.
Well, Beryl, thank you so much for contributing to our 3-minute review. I wanted to take a moment and thank Sean for allowing us to shoot here at Traffic Bar in Hell's Kitchen. Again, today we were discussing the award-winning independent film Middle of Nowhere, written and directed by Ava DuVernay. For this and more, be sure to check out our website, www.letstalkfilmdotcom, which is also available on your mobile device. Until next time, I'm your host, Stefanie Alleyne. Keep watching and keep talking film.